There was once a boy named Yusuf who heard the truth clearly, but still turned away from it, not because he didn't understand it, not because it didn't make sense, but because something inside him refused to accept it. And if you're honest, you've probably felt something like this too. There are moments in life when the truth is right in front of you. You hear it, you understand it. Deep down, you even know it's right. But instead of accepting it, something inside you pushes back. It becomes uncomfortable. It feels heavy. And you start to look for reasons to ignore it. Why does that happen? Why do some hearts accept the truth, while others reject it? Let me tell you Yusuf's story. Yusuf was a smart boy. He grew up learning about Islam. He knew what was right and what was wrong. He knew about prayer. He knew about discipline. He knew about honesty. But as he got older, something began to change. He started choosing comfort over truth. When it was time to pray, he delayed it. When he knew something was wrong, he still did it. At first, it bothered him. His heart felt uneasy. But over time, that feeling started to fade. And this is where something very important happens. In Islam, the heart is not just something that pumps blood. The heart is where guidance is accepted or rejected. The Prophet ﷺ taught that there is a piece of flesh in the body, and if it is sound, and if it is corrupted, the whole body is corrupted. That piece is the heart. And the Quran describes something very powerful. It describes hearts becoming hardened. But how does that happen? Psychologically, the heart does not reject truth all at once. It happens slowly. It happens in small steps. Every time Yusuf ignored what he knew was right, something small changed inside him. The first time it felt heavy. The second time it felt easier. The third time it barely bothered him at all. And this is the danger, because the more you ignore the truth, the quieter your conscience becomes, until one day, it stops speaking loudly at all. Think about it like this. Imagine you are in a dark room and there is a small light in the corner. At first, that light is very clear. You can see it easily. But if you keep covering it little by little, the room becomes darker, not because the light disappeared, but because you kept blocking it. The heart works the same way. The truth doesn't disappear, but when you keep ignoring it, your heart slowly stops responding to it. And this is exactly what happened to Yusuf. One day his friend came to him and said, "Why don't you pray anymore? You know it's important." Yusuf laughed it off. He made excuses. He said he was busy. But deep inside, he knew the truth. The problem wasn't that he didn't know. The problem was that accepting the truth would require change. And this is where psychology explains something very important. The human mind doesn't just seek truth, it also seeks comfort. And sometimes, the truth is uncomfortable. The truth might tell you to stop a habit you enjoy. The truth might tell you to change your lifestyle. The truth might force you to admit that you are wrong. And for many people, that is harder than simply ignoring it. So instead of changing, they reject the truth, not because it's false, but because it's difficult. The Quran describes people who hear the truth and turn away from it, not because they don't understand, but because their hearts have become resistant. And this resistance grows over time. The more Yusuf ignored what he knew was right, the more his heart became distant. The things that once affected him no longer moved him. The reminders that once touched him no longer reached him. And this is one of the most dangerous states a person can be in. Not when you struggle with the truth, but when the truth no longer affects you at all. But here's something important. The heart is not permanently lost. It can change. It can soften again. And this is where Yusuf's story shifts. One night Yusuf was alone. No distractions, no noise, just silence. And for the first time in a long time, he thought about his life. He thought about how far he had drifted. And something inside him moved again. That feeling, that discomfort, that truth he had been ignoring came back. And this is something powerful. Because as long as you feel something, your heart is still alive. The problem is not feeling resistance to the truth. The problem is when you feel nothing at all. That night, Yusuf didn't suddenly become perfect. He didn't fix everything at once. But he made one small decision. He decided to respond to the truth instead of ignoring it. And that is where change begins. Not in big dramatic moments, but in small, honest decisions. In Islam, the heart is constantly changing. It can become harder or softer, closer or more distant, and every action you take affects it. Every time you follow the truth, your heart becomes stronger. Every time you ignore it, your heart becomes weaker. So the question is not why do some people reject the truth? The real question is this: what are you doing with the truth when it reaches you? Because the truth is not always easy. It will challenge you, it will expose your weaknesses, it will ask you to change. But it is also the only thing that can guide you, strengthen you, and bring peace to your heart. Yusuf realized that rejecting the truth didn't make his life easier, it only made his heart heavier. But the moment he began to accept it, even in small steps, something changed. His heart felt lighter, his mind felt clearer, and slowly he began to return. So if you ever feel resistance when you hear the truth, don't ignore it. That resistance might be the very sign that your heart still cares, and the more you respond to it, the more your heart will come back to life.